Hello everyone, I am Prankur Gupta and today we are going to understand final keyword and interfaces in Java. So first let us look at what is final keyword. Guys, final keyword can come with a class, variable and a method. If a class is declared as final, we can't inherit that class. If a variable is declared as final, its value can't be changed. If a method is declared as final, it cannot overridden. Now let us see with the help of examples how these can be achieved. Now here first I have declared a class as final. You can see here. Now I have also created a new class B which is extending A. So basically B is trying to inherit class A, but we will get a compilation error here that final class can't be inherit. Okay, because anything in Java, if declared as final, we can't change it. Okay, so now let us see if we use final keyword with the variable. Now here I have used a final keyword with the variable which is having 10 value, and inside the constructor of this class I am trying to change the value of a to 20. Now it will also give us compilation error that final variable can't be changed. Okay, now we have a final method here. I have a void display method in class A which I declared it as final. Now in class B, which is trying to inherit class A, I am trying to override this method. Now this is not possible here. Why? Because definition of final method given in class A cannot changed in class B, because final means that it can't be changed. Okay, so here we will get a compilation error that final method can't be overridden. We have also seen in our previous lesson that abstract and final cannot come together. I hope you get the clear idea now why they can't come together, because we cannot inherit final method, and why we make any abstract method, because we want to inherit that method. So that is why abstract and final cannot come together. Okay, now guys, let us see what is an interface. Now guys, interface is somewhat similar to abstraction, but in abstract classes we have seen that we can also have some non-abstract methods, but in interface we can only have abstract methods. It is basically used to achieve 100% abstraction. Okay, now all the methods of an interface are by default abstract. Why? Because we have already told that it is used to achieve 100% abstraction. So all the methods in interface will be by default abstract, so we don't have to write abstract keyword with all the methods. Okay, now all the data members, or you can say variables, of an interface are by default final, so we can't change their value. Okay, if we once initialize them. And all the methods of an interface are by default public. Okay, so matlab it means that if we are creating any method, then the access modifier will be by default public to that method. Okay, now it is the responsibility of a class which is implementing an interface to define all the methods of interface. Okay, now what does it mean? That it means that if we have an interface and if we want to implement the methods that we have declared inside interface, then it is the responsibility of that class which is trying to inherit interface to implement all the methods of interface. Okay, now let us see with the help of example. Now here I have interface A. Okay, and inside this interface I have a variable A which has some initial value 10, and it is by default final, so we don't have to write final here. Okay, now I have also declared a function which is void go. Now this is by default abstract and by default public, so we don't have to write public abstract. Okay, now who will give the implementation of this go function? The class which will inherit this interface. Okay, now here we have class B which is trying to inherit A, which is an interface. If a class is trying to inherit an interface, then it must use implements, because it is going to implement all the methods of an interface. Okay, so that is why we have to use here implement. If a class is trying to inherit other class, then you must use extend. But if a class is trying to inherit an interface, then it must use implement, because it is going to implement all the methods of an interface. Now here we are just trying to implement the go function which we have declared in interface above base class. Now we have to give here public. We can't use any other access modifier here. Why? Because we know that if an abstract method have some access level in an interface or in abstract class, then the child class which is trying to inherit this class it must have high access level or equal access level. There is no access level greater than the public, so we must use public. Okay, we can't use protected here or default here or private here, because they all are these all access levels are lower than the public. Okay, so we must use equal access level or greater access level than public. Okay, now there is one more example where interface is trying to inherit interface. Now here basically what is happening, now if an interface is trying to inherit an interface, then it must use extend. Instead of implements, it must use extend. Okay, if a class is trying to inherit an class, then it must use extend, and if an interface is trying to inherit an interface, it must use extend. Okay, now here, now this is also an interface, so it will also not going, so it can't actually, interface can't implement this go method, because interface can only have abstract methods. So this void display is the method of interface B, which having its own abstract method void display. Okay guys, this is all about interface and final keyword in Java. Guys, I hope you get the clear idea. If you like my video guys, don't forget to follow and share this video. This is my Unacademy profile link. You can follow me from there. Thank you guys.